In this video, we will construct a rustic loft bed frame from reclaimed lumber. In our storage area, there is plenty of material to sort through. We find here material for both posts and rails.
These are the bell tower studs.
This frame will be for a twin-size mattress. So after some measurements and some quick drawings, we determine our length. Now we have the rails and posts cut to length. We then square up the edges of the rails on the joiner. For an interior furniture application, the material will need to be smoothed up slightly. We use a 60 grit belt on the belt sander. The beauty of the wood is now enhanced and it is now smooth to the touch. So it's time to make a rabbet joint on the table saw. With the height set to 3/4 of an inch, this is accomplished with 4 passes using the miter gauge. The posts are notched in a similar way. So ultimately, 1 1/4 inches of the rail will set on the post. This takes a bit of time as the saw works to remove the material. One of the realities of working with reclaimed lumber involves an occasional repair. Here, we work glue down into the crack to reinforce the end of this rail. The glue is dried overnight and the separated piece is now securely reattached to the rail. time to take a closer look at our corner joints. These boards are obviously less than perfect. Most are slightly cupped, and this will need to be addressed. While holding the corner together, I mark with a utility knife the side rail where we will need to remove material to create a better fit. Now, with the rail flat on the bench, marked side up, I chisel away a small amount of material from the mark out to the end. So the corner now comes together better. We've calculated that our mattress platform will set into the rails about 3/4 of an inch. The platform will be set 1 inch down from the top of the rails, and we allow 1/2 inch for the thickness of the material itself. The table saw blade height should be first set to 3/4 of an inch. All of the rails will be milled with the same orientation to the blade. Now, with the blade height set to 1.5 inches, we complete the ledge in all the rails. With all the millwork done for the ledge, we clean up the saw marks with a block plane. To complete the frame, we will need 2 supports across the middle. I found an old piece of rough sawn that was wide enough for both. I now create the notches in the side rails where these supports will sit. After having marked the location, I drill out some of the material to make the job of routing easier. I use a guide for the router to ensure that the sides come out perfectly straight. Then I finish the bottom of the notch with a chisel. Now, to create a finished look for the corners, I remove about 1/4 of an inch material on the rails with the miter saw set to 45 degrees. With the components of the frame now fitted, we are ready for glue. We have selected a piece of 1/2 inch AC grade plywood which will serve as the mattress platform. Using a skill saw and a guide, I cut the platform to length. I'll use a similar setup to cut the width. And it's ready to be installed. I fasten the platform around the perimeter with 2-inch finish screws, approximately 18 inches apart. Now while the glue dries, smooth up the edges with 100 grit sandpaper. So with the glue dried and the clamps removed, the corners can be squared up in preparation for the posts. The posts will need to be finished up. First, we will drill holes for the carriage bolts. Then, we make 45-degree cuts on the ends of each post. The posts are ready to install. After each post is positioned and clamped, we will drill through the frame to accommodate the carriage bolts. Here we are using 7/16" bolts, which are capable of thousands of pounds of clamping force. With all 4 posts now installed, the bed frame is finished. So here is the frame with the mattress on top. It looks great and has created much additional storage space in the bedroom.